So the UMiDiGi A1 Pro is very, very interesting for two reasons. Number one, this thing has the new MTK 6739 processor. And number two, this thing has 12 FDD LTE bands, making it completely compatible in the USA. But before we talk about that, let's get on to the full unboxing. So this is a pretty standard unboxing for UMiDiGi. You've got your little sheath, and this is the actual box with the little concentric circles on top. Let's put that aside and look at what else we have. We have the phone here, and let's put the phone aside and see what else we have inside the box. So first we have a package here, and inside we can see that there are basically just the manual, and that's about it. And here we have the charger, which is Chinese, unfortunately, and look, a very, very nice red USB cable. Is it USB-C? Oh, yes, it is. We have USB-C, and that is nice. Okay, let's put all the stuff aside and look at the phone itself. All right. Very nice, shiny phone. It's plastic. The back is plastic. It has that Lumia-style plastic that I like how it looks. I don't quite like how it feels. It feels a little bit cheap. Fingerprints pick up a little bit, as you can see. You know, I'm just putting my fingers on, and you can see that the fingerprints kind of appear and disappear, but they kind of stay there for a little bit. It looks nice. It's really shimmery. It catches the eye, but it's not the best material. But then again, it is a light material, so, you know, it's got that going for it. On the back, again, you have the UMiDiGi logo. You have your recessed fingerprint sensor. It's recessed just a little bit. And then you also have your dual cameras that do stick out from the back. I'm going to show you guys. As you can see, it sticks out a tiny, tiny bit. So whatever. But there is a case included like this. It's a crappy TPU case, but it's still a case nonetheless. Let's look at the rest of the phone. Here we have a nice metal band running around the phone, and this metal band is actually what makes this phone feel fairly heavy. The metal band it's definitely not aluminum. It feels too heavy for that. I think it's steel, or at least some kind of steel. So it's solid. I'll give it that. The rest of the phone here, we have nothing on this side, which is a little bit strange. And then we have the power button, volume button. And then on top, we have the SIM slot. And we also have the USB and the headphone jack here. As you can see, this phone got super dirty already. You can see the fingerprints just completely making this phone look really ugly. So again, that's the downside of having a Lumia plastic back or even a glass back. It picks up fingerprints really, really easily. So turn the phone on and see what we got in terms of the bezels. All right, let's talk bezels. I've set the phone up. Let's turn the screen on and see what we got. As you can see, the bezels here are actually not too bad. They're not super duper small, but they are okay. So actually, let me close that. It's easier to see here. Top and bottom bezels are actually not bad. They're fairly slim. Side bezels are a little bit bigger, but they're still pretty good. So this is, all in all, a very compact phone with quite slim bezels, especially given the price of about $120 with a new MTK 6739 processor. So talking a little bit more about the software here, we have Android 8.1 Oreo installed, and first impressions, stuff feels pretty smooth to use, and I really like how it feels, so I really don't see any issues here. You know, something like everything's fast, swiping is fast. I'm really excited to see how fast this new MTK 6739 is compared to the old one, and even compared to more expensive CPUs, but we'll see how that goes in the next video, which is the full review. All right, let's talk display here. I have to say that UMiDiGi usually puts decent displays in their devices, and in the UMiDiGi A1 Pro, it's really no exception. The display here is decent. It's not the best, I will say that. It's not the best display I've ever seen, but it's good enough for pretty much everybody. Colors are fairly saturated. Stuff looks quite nice. For example, just keep your eyes on the green here. It actually looks pretty good, even on this relatively small screen. You know, it's not 6 inches, but whatever. Definitely feels, looks like a very good display. You have some very nice color saturation. The screen does get fairly bright, and it actually looks fairly crisp as well, which is fairly surprising. So I really do like how this display looks, and, you know, definitely first impressions, I am quite satisfied with it. I will test it out more to see how good it is. And of course, the other thing as well to note is that touch sensitivity is actually really good also. I can very lightly touch the screen, and the screen will respond as well. So no complaints there. The touch sensitivity is very good, and I try my best to touch it very lightly, and sometimes I actually miss the screen completely, which is why you see sometimes that the screen doesn't actually move. It's not that the screen is not responsive, it's actually responsive. I just didn't touch the screen properly. All right, let's talk a little bit about the audio here, and the first impressions I get from the speakers here are that they are noisy, and that's a little bit hard to describe, but have a listen for yourself. It's very noisy, and it's not a very pleasing sound.
Thank you, darling.
Why would anybody ever eat anything besides breakfast food?
People are idiots, Leslie. The less I know about other people's affairs, the happier I am. I'm not interested in caring about people. I once worked with a guy for 3 years and never learned his name. Best friend I ever had. We still never talk sometimes.
Alright, that was a quick overview of the UMiDiGi A1 Pro, and I gotta say that I'm actually fairly impressed. My first impressions for the UMiDiGi are actually good, and I'm excited to see how that MTK 6739 performs in terms of how well it opens apps, how well it plays games and stuff like that, because this is a new processor, and I'm really excited to see how it performs. It's 120 bucks, but I do recommend you guys don't buy it until you see my full review so that you can make a decision for yourself. So be sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell beside the subscribe button to make sure you're notified of any of the latest videos I post, like this review that's coming up soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.